Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. In today's video we're going to be working on this. So, this is getting pretty crispy. So yeah, we're going to be working on that. And yeah, let's go grab the stuff to do it. As always, don't forget to like the video, smash the subscribe button, and drop a comment down below. Appreciate it. Alright, so our stuff is going to be in here. Right here is some of it. And then we have some more around here somewhere. It's got my name on it. Somewhere. This is mine. Right here. Alright guys, so I got my stuff. First step is going to be taking out, removing the tail light. So basically you just pop this cover down. I already popped it down. Let's put it back up just to show you guys. Alright, so there's going to be two tabs, one there and one here. Just pop those two tabs out, push them down I should say. And there's going to be one 10mm bolt right there, nut. So you just go and take that off and the taillight will pop right out. Once you have it loosened up enough, I just recommend loosening it just with the your fingers, because you don't want to take the risk of dropping the bolt and losing it. Go ahead and fold down the seats, place our stuff there, our wrench, and then if you just go from the back side, it should just kind of push out like so. I believe there is a tab on here, so be careful not to break it. Just kind of fitting my hand from the back side. And there is a metal tab, I think on this side, right over here. Okay, so this is back on the inside, and right there is the metal tab. So that's what's catching right here. So what I recommend doing is, before you have this, before you push it forward, the taillight, focus, there we go. You want to make sure you take that metal tab over there, right over there, and you want to bend it inward and then push it forward, and then it'll pop out like so. Makes it a lot smoother. So there's two of those actually, one on the top and one on the bottom. And yes, these are custom aftermarket taillights. And then you're gonna have a little friendly wiring harness over here. So you're just gonna push on that tab right there. And it'll allow for the wiring harness to come out. Yeah, it's kind of hard to show you guys and do it at the same time. So you just push here, pops out, like so. Go ahead and place the taillight over there. We got a few odds and ends, some rubbing alcohol, wire brush, a rag for the rubbing alcohol, some electric tape, not some electric tape, some painter's tape, razor blade, and a scraper. So yeah, go ahead and tuck that back there. And yeah, she's crispy, that's for sure. So we're gonna go ahead and mount it on the tripod, the phone, and get right into it. Alright, so your first step is going to be wanting to take a little rubbing alcohol. And take note not to rub too much on here because we don't want to scratch the paint. Just lightly, like so. Just to clean the surface so we can get some painter's tape on it. I don't know why, but I keep wanting to call it electrical tape. Alright, after that then, go ahead and grab your your painter's tape. Not electrical tape, your painter's tape. And you just go and place it like so. Get your painter's tape, kind of wedge it under there to seal underneath it nicely. So, this is just so we can protect the other paint when we're like scraping in that, and it will be for when we're painting as well. Just don't want to damage the other painted surfaces. Alright. Looking maybe one more, and that should be plenty. Okay. And now, go ahead, grab your scraper. You see it's pretty well crusty right here. So you scrape this out. Should actually grab a rag to put in there, so I'm gonna go do that quickly. Alright, so let's go ahead and stuff this sock in here. Put this wiring back there, just to kind of keep it out of the way. Kind of want to plug that hole up. There's another sock, throw that in there too. Alright, now we can scrape away. Okay guys, so I got it kind of well cut out in that, scraped out I should say, and this is a pretty common problem on the R53 generation Mini Coopers, usually under both the taillights, or on this case, just this one, the rod out underneath that, and then as well as the trunk lids above the handles. I like to do that as well. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and go grab a vacuum and maybe the air compressor, blow it out, and then we'll get to it. So here we have filler primer. We have Bondo glass. So first use the Bondo glass, and then you use the regular Bondo, I believe, or the glazing putty, the pinhole Bondo. And then yeah, we got all this stuff, so our paint and that primer and clear coat. So yeah, should be fun. Alright. I also have some rust stopper, so I spray it on that and it'll stop the rust. So yeah, we're gonna use that as well. And then it basically preps it for priming. Where is it? Right here. Rust reformer. So we're actually gonna use some of this as well. So it destroys rust in contact by bonding and transforming into a sandable and paintable surface. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright. Okay, also, I think I might have mentioned, put a couple layers of tape on here. I think I already said that. Mention that. So, yeah, to protect this, if you like slip with the scraper, it protects the paint and it won't rip through as easy. So we're gonna go ahead and know it wouldn't be a bad idea to put this cover back on so we don't get this garbage all over inside the car. There we go. Okay, let's continue. Alright, we gotta roll the big stuff, big painter's tape. So I'm gonna go ahead and mask it off some more. Don't forget to wipe down your area you're taping off with some rubbing alcohol beforehand, just so it adheres nicely. Okay guys, now we're gonna take some sandpaper and go over it. I'm gonna use some 100 grit first. Just gonna go over it. Some 100 grit. This is 100 grit sandpaper. You can get this stuff at your local hardware store. I think we got this stuff at R53. You also want to make sure you put gloves on so you don't get cut by the rust. So, keep going over it until you get to about bare metal like this with the 100 grit sandpaper. Okay, now, so next guys, if you want to stick a piece of cardboard or something here, cardboard preferably, works good to block the hole up on top of the socks or eggs that you put in the hole, so no fumes in that blow in there. And then we're going to wipe this after you blow it out with compressed air, which we just did. We're going to wipe this down with some rubbing alcohol, and then we're going to hit it with the rust reformer right here. So this is gonna work really good to take away, turn all this old rust into new metal. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm gonna go ahead and use some more compressed. Now we're gonna hit it with some rust deformer. So you want to make sure you shake up the can really good. It's a good idea to have a piece of cardboard to like place against the side in that. So yeah, do a test spray on the ground. It's weird because I don't hear a marble in this can, so that's different. So there we go. Looks pretty good. I gotta say, so far. So, let your first coat dry. Go ahead and let it dry. And come back. Once it dries, then we'll probably lay another coat on.
Alright, now guys, as you can see, it's pretty well dry. Just touch the tape to see how dry it is. Don't touch the paint. So we're gonna go ahead and throw a second coat on here now.
So let's go ahead and do that. So we got a nice heavy second coat. So we're gonna let that dry now. We'll be back in a little bit. Alright, well, I'm gonna throw one more coat on because you can see there's a little bit of rust right there. And then I'm gonna go have some lunch. So let's get right to that. Alright, that should be the final coat, hopefully, and we're gonna have some lunch and then we'll get back to it. So looks pretty good. Alright guys, I'm done eating lunch, so you know what that means. It's time to get back to work on this thing. So looks pretty good. So let's get right to using the... Alright guys, so we changed our mind. We're not going to use this metal mesh anymore. We're going to... All we did was you just tap in just a little bit, like so. Tap it in so you can build this up then. You know, you kind of push it in so you have something to build up on. So you're not just building up on, you know, a little rust in that. So. Yeah, so you just kind of tap it in like so and use a round end on our hammer like this. That's what they're designed to do for. So, yep. So we're gonna get right into it. It's all tapped in pretty well, and now we're gonna go ahead and take our Bondo glass, or fiberglass Bondo, and we're going to mix them up and then Bondo that up. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright guys, it's pretty well hardened up. So now we're gonna go ahead, sand it down, and then we'll put some regular Bondo on it. So let's get to it. Alright guys, change of plans. We're going to use this premium polyester finishing putty. Tag free and stain resistance, fellas, pin hose and body fillers. Cause this stuff ain't too great, so use this stuff instead. Alright, let's mix up some and then yeah, we'll get to it. Okay guys, so hopefully this is the last coat of Bondo. So we got some 320 grit sandpaper right here. Just gonna sand this down, and we got some 600 too if you really want to go fine. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so I got it all sanded down very nice and fine. I went over it with some 216, or no, 320 I should say, 320, and then some 600 as well. So, yep, I'm just going to go over it one more time with the rubbing alcohol. Then we're going to throw some high build, or I should say filler primer on it. Then after we get the filler primer on it, that dries, we'll go from there. So, there's that. I think I might have a tack cloth. Yeah, so I believe this is a tack cloth, so I'm just going to go over it And wipe any stuff off of here. Pack anything up. Like so. Alright, and now we can go over it with the primer. So we got our filler primer. Make sure you spray it on the ground. Throw a nice light coat on it, like so. There we go, guys. Here's our first coat. Looks really, really good. Not gonna lie. So yeah, we'll let that dry and then we'll go from there. Okay, now we're just gonna go over it really quick with this 600 grit. Just very, ever so lightly. We'll take our compressed air. And then we'll take our rubbing alcohol. Wipe it down really good. And then we'll take our tack cloth and go over it. And then we'll take our regular primer and hit it with one layer of regular primer. We'll let that dry now. Alright guys, it's pretty well dry, so go ahead and take our sandpaper right here. I'm going to kind of blend this edge. Clean it out a little bit here and there, and everywhere. Alright, that looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead, take our compressed air. Wipe it down quickly. With a little bit of our friend, rubbing alcohol. Make sure you get it good because we're getting it ready for the base coat. Got that ever so slightly. And now, guys,
The moment of truth.
let's see if this paint color matches. So, shall we? Okay, so I went ahead and sprayed it on here. And yeah, that looks like our color, folks. So let's go ahead and spray this thing. There goes nothing. Oh, that's strong. I should have a mask on. Wow, that looks amazing. Hallelujah. Yeah, definitely wear a mask, guys. Not a good idea from what I'm doing. I put one more coat on after this one and good to go. Let it dry. Alright, guys. Moment of truth. Time for our second and final coat. Here we go. There goes nothing. Well, there we go. That is our second and final coat, folks. So, yeah, let it dry and then we'll put our clear coat on. Alright guys, time for our clear coat.
Yeah, we kind of fade it too so that it's not right up to the tape line.
Yeah, I kept on lifting up the tape line.
You know, not spray all the way up to the tape line, just kind of mix it up. Be careful with clear though, because it's really runny. So I got a run in mine when I did it.
Why is that white?
Did you mix it? Oh no, once it dries, the white goes away. I think. That's what it
Looks good. Alright, let it dry. Then do our last coat. Alright, time for our second coat of clear. Oh, this is a zip clear coat.
Yeah, that stuff's wacky.
Oh my gosh. No mask? Get brain damage.
How it turns white? It's so weird.
Yeah.
What brand is that? Blend it.
Okay
together.
guys, that's going to be our last coat of clear, I guess. So it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks freaking good compared to how it used to look. I mean, dang. Looks insane. There's a little bit of a line there, but very minimal. I kept on pulling up the tape so you wouldn't see it. So yeah. Well, I'm glad to say it. It was a very huge success on the Mini Cooper. So yeah, big success from what we did. So yeah.
I usually wait like
First of all, what we used was our. Here, let's put this stuff off to the side. Of course, we're gonna have to buff it out. But first, what we used, we chiseled it out with this. After we chiseled it out, the stuff, we used some rubbing alcohol, of course, and then we went over it with some rust reformer. You can get this at your local Harbor Freight or hardware store, pretty sure. Then we went over it with fiberglass Bondo. And then after we went over it with that, we went over with some polyester finishing putty, premium, 3M. And then after we went over it with that, we went over it with some filler primer. And then in between everything, we used rubbing alcohol. Then after we went with filler primer, we went with some regular primer. And then after the regular primer, we went over with our base coat. And then after the base coat, we went over with some clear coat. And I got these three from Walmart. This is also from Walmart. So yeah, I got this off line on Walmart. It's the paint code for it, or the paint color I should say, is Arctic Black. So yeah, that's the color for A25. So they don't make that color anymore, so you have to have it made up. So yeah, between all that stuff, that is what I used on it. And then I used 80 grit sandpaper. I used 80 grit sandpaper. I used 100 grit sandpaper. I have these putty knives. You use those. You have hardener as well. Do have a wire brush too that can come in handy. This is another putty knife for spreading. Rubber gloves come in handy. What else? Oh yeah, this hammer comes in handy to tap in the dents so you can build it up, or tap in the rust spots so you can build it up. 3M tape, or frog tape I should say, works really good. 600 grit and 600 grit sandpaper, and 320 works really good for when you're doing the top finishing layer. And then a sanding block as well really helps to get your straight, smooth flat edge. 150 grit as well, sandpaper works really nice. So, and razor blade to take off the high edges in that lips works really good, so I recommend that as well. Another angled putty knife you can also use. A tack cloth works really good, so definitely recommend a tack cloth without a doubt. So yeah, air hose and a vacuum comes in handy as well, so definitely recommend that stuff. So within, I'd say, I don't know, a week or so, a couple weeks, we'll probably buff it out then. So yeah, I guess we can go ahead and peel this tape back. You want to make sure when you peel it away like this. You don't want to peel up towards it, because you could risk damaging your freshly done paint. So there. Wow, that looks insanely amazing. Can't wait to get the rear tail light installed. And yeah, now for the fun part, clean up the mess. So, yeah, between all the sandpapers and everything, that is what you're gonna need to do the Mini Cooper bodywork. Now there's another guy on YouTube, I watched his video, very helpful on how to do it. But I kind of went my own way from his advice I used, and then some from my dad's, and then myself. So yeah, as you can see, I took away the edge, so it no longer will, rust will no longer get under there, water on that and rust it out, so yeah. Alright, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, smash that subscribe button, and drop a comment or question below. Alright, peace out. Stay tuned for the next videos I upload and more content. Alright, see ya. Oh yeah, and don't forget your PPG paint mask. You're gonna want that if you don't want lung cancer. So